I'm meteorologist Monica Woods, and we're checking out the end of our work week forecast. A couple days to go here, and things to be aware of for the coast. We're still dealing with the king tides for the valley. Less wind and more fog making a return. For the foothills, mostly sunny. Cold nights ahead for this year. Just be aware of that if you plan to head up for any recreation. Have a couple more ski resorts coming online here. And things are really starting to get going up there, especially with snowmaking efforts. Heading towards the coast, though, first and foremost, we're going to look at those king tides and the impacts. We've got the coastal flood advisory in effect through the day, at least the morning, and then along the beach. Also beach hazards due to the sneaker waves and strong rip currents. If you head over to the coast, just be aware of that. In fact, some low-lying areas, including parking lots, could see some minor flooding. All of this is because of our full moon in alignment with those high tides. We have the full moon coming in play for tonight. It's the last supermoon of 2025. Should see clearing skies. It's called the cold moon, and appropriately named because those temperatures will be quite chilly, with the overnight lows dropping into the 30s and 40s throughout the valley. As far as the fog, we saw those strong northwest winds on Wednesday that helped to really dry out the atmosphere, bump up the temperatures, and with that, the inversion that we've been seeing over the past about week and a half or so, with that fog just socked in throughout the valley, started to lift a little bit. Now we'll still see the remnants of that into our Thursday. So a little bit of patchy fog making a return into our Friday forecast. But outside of that, it's not going to be the widespread dense fog that we had to deal with last week with all that travel weather throughout northern and central California. Looking ahead to our Friday afternoon, that fog starts to lift. We still see the appearance of some mix of sun and clouds through the forecast. The storm track still stays to the north of us, but we will have a slight chance of seeing some very far northern showers into our Friday evening along the northwest coast and along the northeast corner of California. In the meantime, pretty dry forecast for us here. Temperatures in the 40s for our Thursday in the Sierra. 50s throughout the foothills. You'll notice those overnight lows for the Sierra are dropping into the 20s. As we head throughout the central Sierra, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the mountains. As we head into the valley, patchy low clouds and fog. Temperatures warming into the 50s. Not bad considering we've been stuck in the 40s with very little access to sunlight the past couple of days. 50s for the central San Joaquin Valley as we head inland along the central coast. We're at 68 for San Luis Obispo, Soledad at 65, Gilroy at 63, Santa Cruz 63 degrees. Great place to head this time of year. Beautiful conditions along the coast. 50s and 60s for the Bay Area heading inland. We're back into the 50s. We have to deal with a bit of that low cloudiness and fog struggling to clear for our Thursday forecast. 50s along the northwest coast again later in the week. A chance of showers north end of the valley. A mix of sun and clouds. Highs will be in the 50s. The capital region, highs are going to be in the 50s once again. Struggling a little bit more to clear out of that fog for Patterson, Turlock, and Manteca. Will have better access to sunshine coming northward throughout the capital region. Moving on to our 5-day forecast, we've got a mix of sun and clouds. A little cool for our Thursday in the mountains. Upper 40s, low 50s. Warmer for the upcoming weekend. No snow, though, right now in the outlook for the next 5 days. We're in the 50s and near 60 throughout the foothills, 50s and 60s as well for the coast. Our extended forecast, again, dry conditions, a mix of sun and clouds with areas of fog.